Hey everyone, it's Sunflower Spirit here, and I'm here to do another collective reading. And today I'm going to do a reading on this full moon in Libra, which is actually yesterday where I am, but the energy is still good. Um, so let's see what the collective energy is for this full moon in Libra. I know there's a lot going on here. So let's check it out. Let's see, what is the energy for everyone this full moon in Libra? We have deceit. Interesting. What else do we have for everyone for this full moon in Libra? The temple path. And we have storm warning. And then on the back, we have healer of the ages. Okay, so what I'm getting here is there's some sort of cycle that um, is completing or has completed. I feel like there's going to be an epiphany if there hasn't been one. I also feel like there's some energy that is not totally honest or true. This energy has to do with possibly trauma, possibly like some anger or passion could be involved with that. And this is part of the path. This is part of like whatever path you're on or whatever journey that you're on. So even though like seed deceit and storm warning might look a little like scarier, this is something that's supposed to happen. So there's like something where there's a storm, maybe there was a storm, there is going to be a storm, but there's also going to be, see the lightning, there's also going to be that epiphany, there's also going to be that opportunity for growth and healing and transformation. And then with the healer of the ages, yeah, this is like transforming that. How do you remain secure in yourself? Do you see how his solar plexus chakra is kind of like right there? I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's kind of like bright there. And so what it's basically saying is that this is something that's happening for you to work on your self-confidence, work on how you relate to the world, the image that you put out to the world, and like who you are and like how you feel about yourself, and really bring clarity, really bring abundance and opportunity to that part of yourself, to healing kind of like your self-confidence, self-efficacy. So, and a lot of times these do come in the way of like storms or deception or something. Deception is going to be like an ego defense, right? So if there is deception, that's why I say there's probably like a trauma thing happening, or possibly like just an ego thing if it's not trauma. But this is all part of the plan, all part of the path. This is all for your highest, best good, is what they're saying. So that's pretty heavy right away. But let's see. I know this full moon has been pretty impactful already for a lot of people. So if you're feeling it, you could be, because remember, Libra is Venus energy, which is that divine feminine love energy, and then we're actually in the sign of Aries, which is that more masculine energy of um, passion and anger and possibly rage and you know the like Aries is ruled by Mars, which is like the planet of like war and stuff. So it could be like fighting with yourself over some type of like divine divine feminine energy, love type energy. So, but let's take a look. I'm going to take, this is called the Wild Reflections Tarot, and let's see what else. What else do we need to know for everyone, please, for this full moon in Libra? What else do we need to know? All right. We have Five of Cups. Yeah, disappointment, sadness, loss, grief, depression even. Somebody's focusing on the negative and not the positive. So need to kind of figure out, like, it's not that you don't want to be aware of the things that are quote unquote negative, but like you just want to make sure that you're not like dwelling in that energy. Yeah, because there are like opportunities. It's an opportunity for like growth and for healing. Um, So something doesn't look, you're looking at it one way, but there's also another opportunity to look at it because, with the Five of Cups, there's always the three spilled ones, but then there's always those two behind the person where you have the opportunity to kind of like change your perspective, rewrite the story, reframe it. What else do we have for everybody, please? We have 10 of Cups. Okay, so someone's feeling disappointment, grief about maybe particularly like a life situation. Like, the 10 of Cups for me is that like everything in your life, you get everything that you want. It's like um you have the family life, you have the job, you have the relationship, you have, everything that you've kind of ever wanted. You're really in alignment with the rainbow there. And so somebody's grieving something that has to do with this type of life. Maybe your life didn't work out the way that you thought it would. Maybe there's something where you wanted a relationship or a family situation that wasn't possible because of circumstances that were beyond your control in your life. And so you're feeling disappointed about that. What else do we have for everyone for this full moon in Libra, please? What else do we have for everyone for full moon in Libra? You could be feeling kind of like resistant to the energy right now, just because it's a lot, and especially because this full moon is typically like going to be about emotions. So, sometimes there's those blockages when we feel resistant. We have the Queen of Swords, so really needing to use discernment. Um, I also feel like with the Queen of Swords that there could be like you need to really like use your wise mind, really try to get out of that ego type mind, really try to get out of the emotional mind and really kind of use your wise mind in this situation. Like it's okay to feel these emotions, but also like how does that interplay with your thoughts and how do you like use your thoughts to kind of like move yourself forward? Using discernment, not being afraid to cut people, places, things, situations, etc. when you need to, and really, having that discernment to kind of like trust yourself to know when to be able to cut if you need to, or when to walk away, basically. What else do we have? We have the Devil, and then we have the Three of Wands. Okay. Um, so with the Devil coming out, that's Capricorn energy, and that's gonna be like there's something in your life. It could be an addiction, it could be an obsession, it could be a vice, it could be something that it could be like a toxic relationship or a toxic situation or something that you're bound to and you are like codependent to. So you feel like you're kind of, enmeshed with it and you need to kind of make the decision to kind of like break free from this. And so that's why we have the Three of Wands next, because the Three of Wands is really going to be like, how do you plan for your life? So you're disappointed about something didn't work out. You do have an opportunity here with the Five of Cups, so you need to use that to your advantage, plan your life. You need to make some changes. Do you see how he's looking out that window and there's that waterfall going into that lake or river, whatever? That's showing like the changes that you make to change the emotional state, right? So Five of Cups energy, you're going to want to change this emotional state by making some changes to your life. So thinking about like, how do you plan? Like, what are the pillars that you need to support you with this? To support you with positive change, to get you out of this bondage, to make this decision, to release this addiction, release this obsession, release this toxicity, whatever it is. What else do we have for everybody for this full moon in Libra? We have the Seven of Swords. So yeah, needing to really kind of strategize, be strategic, use your wits. Also not deceive yourself. Remember, we saw the deception. Don't deceive yourself about this Ten of Cups. What are you holding on to in this Ten of Cups that might just be like a fantasy, that might just be like an ideal? Where is actual reality? And so that's where you're going to use this discernment with this Queen of Swords. You need to know like what is the actual reality of this. and not like blind yourself with those rose-colored glasses or rainbow-colored glasses or whatever, for so really needing to be um strategic about how you're going about this and use your wits to your advantage. Also, check in with yourself and your higher self, check in with yourself and God and the universe. Because sevens are about like relating to yourself and the universe. Sevens aligned with the crown chakra, which relates yourself to the universe or your higher self or God, whatever you want to call it. Um, because otherwise it's probably going to create a lot more pain. And you're creating pain by creating this idealism in your mind. When you're idealizing some sort of situation and you're not looking at the reality of it, you're not using discernment or looking at the toxicity, looking at the things that hold you back from being your best self, then you're causing pain is basically what you're causing. So what else do we have for everyone for this full moon in Libra, please? What else do we have for everyone for this full moon in Libra? We have King of Swords. Oh, wow. Interesting. So we got like the divine pair here right together. The Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. So really needing to balance your masculine and feminine energies with that thought process, with that wisdom, with that discernment, with that communication and how you're thinking about things. So for me, like with the Queen of Swords, it's going to be more like internalizing stuff. So she's going to be more about like really thinking it through, really trying to process information and really trying to discern like the best way to go. And it's more of like that internal process. The King of Swords is going to be more that external process of where you're now communicating this information to someone else. You're having conversations, you are expressing yourself. So how can you balance these two energies out, the masculine and feminine parts of these energies out, so that you can have the best possible outcome and remove yourself from whatever you are feeling bound to, or whatever's tying you down, whatever's weighing you down, whatever is not. There's something in your life that you're like carrying around that you don't need to be carrying anymore. You need to drop that. And also this could show that this has to do with some type of relationship. It could be like a romantic connection, or it could be another type of relationship. It doesn't really matter. It's really specific to like what your story is and what, if this is even resonating for you. But this could tell you that there's maybe a relationship that is like a divine pair, but there's something that's holding it back, and that something is like toxic. So, without these changes, without making these changes, and without having this discernment, and without looking at this sort of like reframing or transmuting the energy, turning it around to match yourself, to match something that suits you better, you're going to stay in this bondage. You're going to stay bound to whatever it is that's holding you back, or whoever, or I mean, it could really be anything. What else do we have for everyone for this full moon in Libra, please? We have the Knight of Cups. So yeah, they're saying once you release yourself from this, you can have the things that you want. You can have wish fulfillment here. With this Knight of Cups, this is like a dream come true. This is like a wish come true. This is something that you're wanting, but it's like they're saying, how do you like get yourself out of this bondage here? You got to figure out how to, stop doing the things that are hurting you. Stop giving energy to the people, to the situations, to the things around you that are hurting you. We have the Two of Wands on the back. So yeah, definitely a decision. It's sort of like that. Should I stay or should I go? Like, it's kind of like right now you're in this energy of like the devil you do know is, easier to deal with than the devil you don't know, like just because it's a comfort zone, right? That's your comfort zone. You know it, so at least you know it, even though you know it's not the best for you, or you might have the awareness that it's not the best for you. They're saying release yourself so you could have this Nine of Cups. And this Nine of Cups energy might feel like it's something elusive, something that you're like, that can't ever, you're even skeptical if that's even a real thing that is possible. Well, they're telling you that it is possible, with the caveat that you have to get out of this bondage type energy. So, this is ultimately your decision. You have a decision. They're telling you to plan. They're telling you to transform kind of your thoughts so that it transforms your emotions. Because when we change the way we think about something, we we have the ability to change how we feel about it. And that's why cognitive behavioral therapy is so impactful for people, because when you change how you perceive something, when you change how you're thinking about it, you can change the way that you feel about it and you change those emotions. So it's like going from that grief or that despair or that feeling of lack or disappointment to, oh wait, maybe there is an opportunity for me here. Maybe there is something that serves me better. It's kind of that energy. So let's see what's under here. Two of Cups. Oh my goodness. So this could definitely be some type of relationship, some type of romantic connection, just because we have these two cards, you know, the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords coming out like in this way, and then with the Devil here and the twos and the twos. Yeah, I definitely see this could be something, but it's something where you have to figure out how to remove the toxicity, how to make the challenges go away. So remember we had this deceit card. So I think this is like going to be healing trauma, basically. It's also going to be not deceiving yourself. Remember using these are two kind of similar cards, using your thoughts to strategize, not to deceive, right? So having the discernment even with your own thoughts. Um, and again, this is a journey, this is like a spiritual path or spiritual lesson, because you are going to get enlightenment from this if you haven't already. And ultimately you're going to make it so that you're or help yourself with your self-confidence, I guess. So, wow. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'm going to take some advice. That's a heavy message, but I think it's a good one. And I think it definitely like relates to this full moon, because that is like basically the energy in a nutshell for, for the most part, for most people right now. But I'm going to take Sunflower, Lenormand, and we're going to get some advice. So let's see. What is the advice for everyone for this energy for this full moon in Libra? What is the advice? All right. What is the advice, please, for this full moon energy in Libra? All right. So we got man. Hmm. So this is about, it could be like an actual man that's involved. It could also be about so if you're watching and you're watching like as a man or for a man, this could be the person. It could either be you or somebody that you're thinking about in regards to this reading that I just did. And so, or it could be about your own self and your masculine energy. Because on the back we have the bouquet, which is about this is about kind of like luck and abundance. So yeah, something with either your masculine energy or a man is involved, and there's something coming with luck and abundance, happiness. And this has to do with others too. So there's something where maybe like the people surrounding you, and it's in a good way, the people surrounding you are going to help you with something concerning all of this, or there's good things coming to you. I feel like too, this could also be kind of like the Ace of Cups in the tarot. So there could be like a new fulfilling beginning It could be in love, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be like something that you find emotionally fulfilling as well. And then there's a lot of like luck and happiness surrounding this with the nine. I mean, not the nine, the bouquet. Yeah. All right. So that is a really great message, really good way to end the reading. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it resonated. Please let me know. And I hope you have a great full moon in Libra. Thanks for stopping by.